And now, a thought from Mann. Well, Trollhunters is a show. I mean, that's kind of the best explanation I got for it, is that it's a show. It functions well enough, but it just doesn't do as much as I thought it could do, especially since it's coming from Guillermo del Toro. Just kind of,
Really?
The premise of this show is about a boy who becomes a warrior for trolls and must defend trolls and humanity from these things called gum-gums, which are bad trolls, and that's a pretty stupid name, honestly, and even then they ditched that name midway through. They don't even bother to keep calling them gum-gums anymore. They just say they're bad trolls, in which case it's like, what was the point of that name? But that's basically the premise of it. And that's kind of all you needed to know, is just he fights trolls and he's just a warrior. It wants to have more to it, but as you go along, you see it's not that special. It's kind of the simple, basic premise that you easily can get into, and I don't fault it for that, but at the same time, you kind of think, come on, it's Guillermo del Toro. There should be a bit more to it, but The main character is named Jim Lake, who goes to high school, and he's always this adventure seeker who wants to do more and be great and all that, and he gets his wish come true with this whole amulet that he finds that makes him into the Trollhunter. And he has a friend named Toby, or Tobias, who's supposed to be the comic relief, the fat kid, the sidekick as well, and all that, and he basically serves that basic need. And he's also joined by these other trolls named Arg, who's supposed to be this big brute who's a pacifist, so that's sort of the comedy of it. And this guy named Blinky, who's supposed to be the know-it-all and be able to guide him through as a troll hunter, because he's also the very first human troll hunter. There's also this other character named Claire, who Jim has a crush on, and he constantly kind of screws her over because he's keeping the secret that he's a troll hunter from her. And it's kind of interfering with his school life. And for the most part, it's kind of standard, oh, I have a secret identity and I can't tell you. And it's just kind of, But for the most part, the characters work as they are. They just work as the characters they were meant to be. And I don't fault that for it.
What's life without a little adventure?
The animation for the show is actually really good, depending on where you are. When you're in like the city or the school, it's like, it looks nice and it functions, but that's not that special. But when you get to like the troll marketplace, it's like, holy crap. Just all the colors just straight up pop and it looks gorgeous. And that's where it shines, when it's more in the fantasy element. When you're more in real life, it's like, okay, it functions as kind of animation, but that's it. And it works well for the fight scenes. They're actually pretty intense fights going on, and you really do get into it. You get your heart pumping and everything, because they're actually pretty intense. The impacts seem legitimate and feel like they actually have weight to them. And I really give it to this series for that. The all-around humor can range between okay to, I don't know. Like, there's one joke that Jim learns about being a troll hunter, and it's like the third lesson. When in doubt, kick him in the grognards, which is just another name for the nuts. It's like, okay, that's cheap. I mean, it's effective, but it's cheap. Let's not be fake here. It's kind of funny, but at some point you might be like, okay, like, you got a nut joke in there. That's funny and all, but come on, we're kind of moving away from that. So it varies from time to time. The show even has a nice continuity to it. Like, a certain character gets his teeth knocked out, and for a few more episodes later on, he still has those teeth knocked out. Eventually they fix it, but they still keep up the continuity that, yeah, we do have a bit of a narrative going on here. Most of the time, if someone gets their tooth knocked out, it's fixed within either the same episode or the next episode. But they decide, no, we're gonna hold to that. And I give it to them. You normally don't see that in a lot of cartoons. I also have a major gripe with how this series is. It's on Netflix, and as we all know with Netflix, you like to binge watch shows. Like, your Jessica Jones, your Voltrons, How to Train Your Dragon, the series. Those are good shows you can binge watch. But here's the thing, a lot of them have small episode orders for the season. Usually they range from like 13 episodes per season. This decided to do 26 episodes. And it's like, okay, that's more to watch. But here's the thing, they still hold it to the original TV cable standards, where the few episodes don't really further the story that much. A lot of them act as filler, or you just didn't need that episode. So as you're binge watching it, you find yourself getting bored and just start thinking, okay, when are we gonna get to some really good stuff here? I'm starting to fade in and out from this series. And that's what kind of holds this series back. If it had a 13 episode order, it would work. But once you get to like the 13th episode, it feels like a season finale, but you come to find out, no, this is just midway through the season. It's like, really? The next episode, you feel like, okay, this feels like a season premiere, but it's clearly not the season premiere, it's the next episode in the season. So you just start feeling a little lost, especially since they indicate a month has passed, and you're like, when? I don't feel like the month has passed. I feel like we left off right from where we were. So it kind of can lose you a bit as you go along. You might start finding yourself bored because, well, it's taking forever to really get into things.
That's harsh.
One other gripe I have with the series is they do the secret identity thing and they don't do it right. A lot of shows know, okay, we're gonna have the secret identity. It has to be the villains can't know his identity. Otherwise, that's going to really affect his personal life and stuff like that. Here, the villains know who he is. So it's like, okay, so there's no big reason for him to keep it secret. He should just tell all his close personal friends and family who he is. He doesn't. The only person that knows is his best friend Toby. He doesn't tell the girl he likes that his secret identity is a troll hunter. He doesn't tell his own mother, who's dating an actual villain. That's the thing about it. His mother is dating the villain, and he won't tell her about it. It's like, why won't you warn her that this guy is bad? What the fuck? Why would you let your mom do that? And even then, it starts to tear up his mother inside because she wants to know what's going on with him, but he chooses not to tell her, even though he has no reason not to. He has no reason not to tell her. He could just tell her and just straight up say, yeah, this is what I do. It may be dangerous, but this is the destiny that I have. Eventually, she might understand. I mean, come on. And then there's also the fact that this has been done before and done better. Danny Phantom did it, and it made sense that they don't tell the villains, because if the villains know, then they'll just attack him any day, any night, any time, and even attack his friends and family. And even Batman and Spider-Man have the same premise, and they know how to do it right. Hell, even Randy Cunningham knew how to do this. This is basically the same premise, but they knew, okay, he has to keep his secret because otherwise the Sorcerer and McFist will always attack him any time. They understood this concept of it needs to remain secret. He can tell some close friends and family, but he can't tell it to everybody, otherwise it's going to impact him. But in Trollhunters, the villains already know who he is, so it's like they can attack him at any time, and they even do. They go to the school attacking him and all that. So it's like, why are you hiding it from your mom? Why are you hiding it? You might as well just let it be known. Hey, I hunt mystical trolls. I get it. It's like you don't want to reveal it to everybody, but your close personal friends and family, come on, tell them. They should know. And that's just that big pet peeve I have with this series. It's just, like that seemed like something you easily could have bypassed. There was such a better way to do this that has been done before and in a good way. Like, it's just annoying.
Whatever is happening, whatever it is you're afraid to say, I want you to tell me, face to face. Believe it or not, there was a time when you used to share everything with me. Fine.
This series is ultimately just okay. It is not the worst, but at the same time, I cannot say it's the best. It takes too long to really get into its story and develop stuff. And it's like, dude, Voltron knew what it was doing. It had 11 episodes and it got to the point right away. Here, you're taking forever, and it's like, you can't afford that. You really can't afford that unless you were gonna be on cable television, but even then, it's like, you do realize people will lose attention and lose interest because you're just taking forever to really get into things. And another thing is you're not really changing up locations. You're always within the city of Arcadia and the high school and the Troll Marketplace, and you're just like, okay, I've seen these places 1,000 times over. Can we go somewhere else? I'm getting bored just looking at these same places over and over again. I get it, high schooler, so it's not likely he can travel much, but still, it's like, you gotta have something more exciting happening. Maybe have it so the trolls do have more of a presence and people know about them. Keeping them secret is just like, okay, I don't feel like the humans have much need to be here. They're just in the way, and it's just like, come on. Like, I get it, he can't travel a lot, so he can't really go anywhere, and so they can't change up locations, but ugh. And then that secret identity stuff just really pisses me off because it's been done before and it's been done a lot better. Like, for fuck's sake, Batman, Spider-Man, Randy Cunningham, and Danny Phantom, they knew we can't do the secret identity thing without it having some weight to it. Here, there's no weight to it. None whatso-fucking-ever. And it's just sad because this is from Guillermo del Toro. He made Hellboy 1 and 2. These movies were awesome. Pan's Labyrinth, Pacific Rim. These were good movies. And it's like, this is what you have to offer? Oh, it's sad. It's really sad. But that's just a thought.
So you can rock this party.